Hi friends, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I have lots of garden and flower stand updates to share with you. And at the end of the video, we're going to be touring another dried flower shed that actually sells cut flowers from the side of the shed. It's absolutely amazing, full of lots of inspiration. So if you're looking for shed ideas, dried flower cottage ideas, or even flower stand ideas, you'll definitely want to see this garden and flower stand over in Zone 4B. Before we head over to there, we're actually heading over to Canada today. I want to share with you what happened at the flower stand this weekend. So I started out Saturday at the flower stand with 3 bouquets. I had 2 with white amaryllis or yellow amaryllis. We had lemon star and white candle in the back. And then I had Spartacus in the front. Spartacus sold right away. So that was interesting to note that people probably would prefer to have the red amaryllis at Christmas. I thought that was really helpful. However, the next thing that happened was that I then restocked the stand with another Spartacus arrangement and Blossom Peacock, which is a really, really awesome amaryllis. Someone paid $8. All my bouquets are $20. So later that day, someone came and paid $8 for the $20 Spartacus bouquet. So I was a little disappointed that that had happened again, but at the same time, it just serves as a good reminder that that can happen, and that I always have to take that into consideration when I'm putting bouquets out. I'm always taking that into consideration with the summer bouquets. I'm kind of building a loss into the flower stand. But when it came to cut amaryllis, I think since it's my first time doing cut amaryllis, I just didn't really think that through. And I didn't think anyone would underpay or steal amaryllis. And when people underpay during the spring or summer season, it's not really that big of a deal. It's hard if they underpay for things like peonies and ranunculus. But if someone comes and buys a sunflower arrangement and underpays or leaves me like a bunch of change or something, it's not that big of a deal to have that happen every once in a while. But since amaryllis are so expensive to grow, just getting the bulb was $12. I'm not really sure if it's something that I want to continue doing. So now let me share a positive update with you. The pad for the garden library has been laid. The pad itself is 10 by 10. The shed is 8 by 8. And just having this pad here now, which is centered right in the center of the raised beds, if I stand a little bit more center here, you can really see that it's going to also give us a lot of great privacy to have this beautiful structure here. So I just couldn't be more excited. So that's the main update for the last few days, and I know Josh has started to put the siding on and it looks absolutely amazing. But now I'm going to turn it over to my new friend Carissa from the YouTube channel Carissa's Garden. Carissa has a flower farm and she also has built a flower shed where she sells flowers from the side of that shed. Currently she's housing tons of dried flowers, vases, projects, and arrangements in the shed, and I just know you're going to absolutely adore her. And as an added bonus, it's snowing over in Canada right now. Let's take a look.
Hello, welcome here. I'm Carissa and this is my garden. Danielle, I am so excited to see what becomes of your cottage, your little flower shed. It's so nice to have this kind of space. So as you can see, we had our first dump of snow. Well, actually we had one, but it didn't really last. And I'm hoping this one doesn't last either. We're gonna get temperatures in around the 8-degree range. That's about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So it probably won't stick around, but it is December after all. Anyway, so as you can see, most of my perennials in this area are dormant, which is just part of life here in Canada. We're in Zone 4B, by the way. Anyway, so we established this area just this last spring. So we started with just raw ground. I'll insert a picture so you can see what it looked like. And as we sort of leveled the ground for the shed, we decided to put landscape fabric down. We deal with Bermuda grass, which is just an awful grass. If you have it, you know how bad it is. So we decided to put landscape fabric down here for the walkways for the gravel. And then we built, I think, 8 raised beds, and they're all deer resistant perennials, and they've done well, so well. Most of them are for cutting, some of them are for pollinators, all of them are for my enjoyment, which is really, really a treat to have. So this area is sort of just like a nice little cozy area. I have my flower farm behind me, which is quite large, more harvest, you know, utility style with, you know, beds and rows and very orderly. And this area is a little bit more cottagey, a little bit more quaint, a lot of fun and a lot of beauty. So anyway, we built this year, like I said. And then this area just to my side, I'll turn you around. Just along the fence line here, you can see there's a bed. I think it's quite large, it's about 60 feet. So I planted 25 double pink peonies, 25 double red peonies, and I think about 15 coral charm peonies. So they take a while for their roots to get established, so they'll hopefully give me blooms next year or the following year. And then interspersed among the peonies, I have different perennials, helianthus, heliopsis, daisies, bee balm, yarrow, all those types of things, all for my cutting and, again, enjoyment. It's been really nice to see this area fill in, and I can't wait to see what it'll look like for year 2, which is going to be next year. So it's been really nice to have this area. And then on either side of the door, I've got clematis growing, and I'm just hoping it'll sort of take over the shed and just do a beautiful job, adding that little touch of whimsy. And then I also have nepeta in each of the beds. I like symmetry, so I've got nepeta on each side, I think yarrow on each side, and calendula, which usually reseeds for me. So hopefully it'll kind of have a nice consistent look as the years go by. So our shed is a 12 by 10, and it's made by Cedar Sheds, and I believe they ship internationally. So check out their website. They've got tons of different options, and it was a real treat to kind of put together my dream shed with them. So I've got my 2 windows here, which they come with on either side of the double door, but then we opted to add 3 windows to the back side of the wall because I wanted extra light coming in when I was doing all my flower arranging. And then on the other side, we've got a little potting shed with a awning that my husband built, and that's for my customers to pick up. So I'll put my little jar out there with the flowers, and they'll come and pick up their bouquet just right there. I know when I was looking for ideas and inspiration, I was just scouring the internet before we purchased this shed, and it was hard to find. There's not a lot out there. So I've got 2 solar lights on either side of the door, and this is a cedar shed, like I said, so it will age naturally, and it'll become a little bit more of a silvery tone. You can see the bottom. The rain has sort of splattered the bottom, and that's probably a little trial look for what it'll look like in the future. And I'm planning on leaving it. I think it'll look very nice and natural to have it this sort of like muted gray barn tony look. So I think it's very beautiful, and I'm excited to see it age. Here we are inside the flower shed. It is such a joy, like I said, to have. I store a ton of my dried flowers in here. They seem to hold up really well. I don't have any insulation in here, no cooling, no heating, and they seem fine. As long as they were dried with all their humidity taken out of the plant before the first frost, it seems like they hold up in the cold temperatures so far. Like I said, this is my first year in this shed. So anyway, I've got tons of them hanging from the ceiling here. And then I also store vases, my craft paper for wrapping my bouquets, a lot of my garden tools, shovels, snippers, all my wreath making supplies. Right now I have it set up for wreaths. So behind me I've got all my evergreens, got all my wire ribbons and all of those types of things to make wreaths. And it's just been so much fun using this shed. All right, as you can see, this is standing outside, just on the steps here. And it is a little bit raised, as you can see. We were building on a hill, so we just had to build some stairs right there. So here we are inside. Like I said, it's 12 by 10, 12 being this outer wall right here. So these are the 3 opening windows that we added to our shed. It was a great addition, just extra light and airflow in the hot summer months. It's been really nice. So I've got 2 of these tables. They're pretty much used for working. When I'm in bouquet season, both of the tables are back here, and I'm just sort of doing an assembly line and working through that way. I've got craft paper stored here, done tons of different vases and vessels, and here's some more dried flowers. The smaller ones I've been storing in here. Shovels are over here, more dried flowers. It is a working shed, as you can see, so it's not super tidy, but that's just the reality of using it. And here is the glorious dried flowers. Straw flowers are incredible for drying. Okay, and then on this side of the wall, I have obviously more dried flowers, a shelf up here to store some of my wreath supplies and some jars. Those are Christmas ornaments in those clear little baubles. More vases down here, more supplies, and a little bit of supplies here, elastics and business cards, so I can be all professional. These windows open up too, which are fabulous. They're very, very small, but very cute. I hope you enjoyed that tour, my little shed with all my supplies and dried flowers. I know when I was putting together my dreams and plans and ideas for my own flower shed, I just scoured the internet just looking for all the different ideas. So it's so helpful to see how different people do it. I hope you check out my channel. It's Carissa's Garden, and I do a lot of cut flower arrangements, growing, landscaping, and all of that type of thing. Thanks again, Danielle. I'm so looking forward to seeing what you come up with in your own space. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for joining me. Bye.